right, we're going swimming today. I'd say that's probably been the hardest thing to train for during this whole half Ironman train up that I've been going through. Number one, it's hard to fit it into the schedule, okay? I still have a full-time job. I'm a dad, I'm a husband. There's a lot going on in my life, and a lot of the pools that are available to me, namely the ones that are on post, are not open past 1 p.m. So a lot of times I have to fit it in like right before lunch or during lunch, or I have an emergency backup. There's a pool off post that's sort of on the way home that's open till around, I think it's 5 o'clock. So it's still really hard to be able to get there on time. But so far I've been mostly making it happen. I'd be a liar if I say that I've been able to make every single session that I had on the calendar. That would just make me a liar if I said I did that, but I've been doing my best to be able to do that. So far, we're making some good progress. I put it out on my Instagram that I've actually been seeing huge gains with my swimming progression. Within the span of a month, I've gone from swimming about 25 meters or just like one leg and being completely winded at the end of it, to now I can swim 1.2 miles all freestyle nonstop, or at least, you know, I touch the wall and I go back, right? So it's pretty good progression, I would say. I'm feeling really confident with my swims, and I actually look forward to swim day now. Got my new ROKA tri-suit. Yeah, pretty sweet get up, right? I will say I am absolutely not used to wearing things like this, but I've already given it a couple rides and it feels really good when you're actually on the bike. It actually has like a cooling effect that's pretty awesome, especially since it's been like super hot out here lately. I've made a couple modifications to the bike. I'm still sort of figuring out my sweet zone as far as where I want the handlebars to be, where I want the aero bars to be, how high do I want the seat. I think I'm gonna put it up a little higher today when I do this ride. I've also added another water bottle holder right there, so now I have 2 water bottles. 1, 2, boom. So plenty of water, looking good there. And for now, I don't have a bike computer, but I've just been using this little attachment to put my cell phone on there, and I just use the Wahoo app there. Which reminds me, I also have a trainer now. Kicker Snap, Wahoo Kicker Snap. That thing's been pretty awesome. If the weather's like just far too bad, or if I just feel like doing a stationary workout, I'll bust that thing out. I feel like I get a much harsher workout using the trainer, which is good sometimes, right? You want to challenge yourself. So I'll use the trainer pretty often. I'd say like at least like once a week I'm using the trainer. I'm riding like 4 times a week. I'm always riding. That's definitely the thing that I'm training the most so far. I ride 4 times a week, run about 4 times a week at least, and I swim around 2 times a week. I feel like I could swim more, but honestly I'm seeing such good progress with my swimming, I'm not too worried about it. 2 times a week seems to be working out just fine. And I've been using these for Sustainment, the goo gels, because they just go down so easy. It's nice and quick, and they're, you know, I don't have to fumble around with the packaging much. So just trying to do the best I possibly can to get used to eating as many goo gels as I'm gonna need out there during the actual race day. Pro tip, your glasses frame should go on the outside of your helmet strap. All right, I guess that's what cyclers do. I got a whole bunch of people telling me to do that last time, so that's what I do. I guess it has something to do with things popping off if you did fall or something. I don't really see the difference either way, but hey, we're doing the right thing out here just in case. I also have a couple gadgets to help me with my workouts to make sure I'm on track. I've got a speed sensor right here, and then a cadence sensor right here. So I can use the Wahoo app on my phone right here, and that tells me how fast I'm going, tells me my RPMs, things like that, and just make sure that I'm on track for my training ride. And today we're going for time, about an hour and 15 minutes ride, and then I'll run with a brick run, or run right after the ride for 30 minutes. So not too bad today. Still working the dismount, but we're getting there. All right, just got back, parked the bike. All right, here's the stats. Looks like I hit a new PR for my 30K today, that's good. So almost 24 miles. Looks like my average speed was 18.8 miles per hour, which is really good because I'm really working on trying to maintain at least 17 miles per hour. I think that should keep me on target. So that's what I'm trying to do the entire time. I kept it in the exact same gear pretty much the entire time I was doing that last workout. Same gear, and just switched up my positions a lot. So I got a lot of transitioning work done on that one. And yeah, feeling pretty good. Now I gotta get my run in. I gotta put you guys down. Supposed to be doing a brick run. Now I know I've already showed you a bike workout, but this is like a multi-day video take, right? And today I actually did another bike, and I did 56 miles. So I did the mileage that I'm gonna be expected to be able to accomplish during the half Ironman event. So now I know what 56 miles feels like. And what I've been doing, at least every other, or you know, at minimum every third ride, or if it's like a long ride, I put chain grease or oil on the chain and I just let it sit outside for maybe 2 hours, something like that, as long as it's not raining. Just because if I leave the oil on the chain and I put it back in the garage, it does drip and then it leaves oil marks all over the garage. But this has been out here for a couple hours, so we'll bring it back inside. Still think it's silly that you're not supposed to have kickstands for your road bikes. I really don't understand what the deal is with that. Maybe it's like a weight thing, like it just causes extra weight, so you want to minimize the weight. I don't know, but it's been really annoying to not have a kickstand, I can tell you that much. But here's the stats for today on my ride. And if you guys aren't following me on Strava yet, you know, and you want to see the progress of all this, please do. It's just Gritty Soldier on Strava. You're more than welcome to follow me on there and see as I progress through this. But here you go, here's my stats. So total distance was 56 miles, okay, and then just a little extra. And total moving time was 3 hours and 8 minutes, well, 8.5 minutes. Okay, so that's pretty good. My average speed was almost 18 miles an hour, 7.8 miles an hour. And what I've really been trying to do is maintain at least 17 mile an hour bike rides, like on average. That's what I'm trying to maintain. And the fact that I was able to get 17.8 for the first time that I've ever done 56 miles like that tells me that I am definitely on the right track with my training. I'm definitely doing the right thing. That was a good bike ride for me today. The weather was really nice, like it wasn't too hot. I went through 3 goo gels and 2 other little power snacks that I've been using and 2 bottles of water, and I tried to space that out to about every 30 minutes of my ride. That's kind of what I was doing to make sure that I was hitting the mark and sustaining myself appropriately as I was going through the ride. And it worked out pretty well, I feel like. And I still feel pretty good right now. And that was only maybe an hour and a half ago. I took a shower and got dressed. So it was a great bike ride today. And since we're here talking about this, I might as well show you guys what I did yesterday. I ran a half marathon yesterday, and I felt really good yesterday. I was a little dehydrated from like the day at work. I just was so busy and I wasn't drinking enough water, but I got home, the weather was nice, and I went out and just crushed a run. Here's my stats on that one. So 13.1 miles, so half marathon. Total moving time was just about 1 hour and 40 minutes. And average pace was 7 minutes and 37 seconds per mile. So pretty good right there, especially for being a little dehydrated. I only took with me 2 goo gels on that one. I took one at the 6 mile mark and one at the 9 mile mark. And that was all I had for sustainment. I probably needed a little bit more, especially with the water side of things, hydration. And I know that because not necessarily energy during the run, but later on that night, I was having headaches and stuff, and my legs hurt, and that just tells me I didn't sustain myself properly. So next time we'll do better. We'll make sure we do a little better with that. But still, man, I think as far as stats go, we're keeping up just fine, and I think we're preparing. I think the training program is coming along just fine, and I think everything that I've been doing so far is the right thing that I should be doing. Now, I really want to show you guys some of the gear that I got sent out to me that I'm extremely excited to use. Some of it I've already put to the test, and I can tell you this stuff is well worth the cost, even though technically I didn't pay for it, but I would have paid for it, okay, if I had to. But check this out. This is the ROKA Maverick X3. It's a full wetsuit that I plan on using for game day. I have tried it on. It fits really good. This is a large. I probably should have gotten a large long, to be honest, but I think a large is gonna be just fine. It fits pretty good. If you haven't swam in a wetsuit like this before, I can tell you, it is so much easier to swim in one of these. There's literally nothing to get hung up on as you're going through your swim, as you're going through the water. It makes you feel like you're floating on top of the water rather than like just pulling yourself through the water, as my fellow not so good swimmers might know. But this thing's awesome, super excited to use this. Haven't used it yet, but I do plan on giving it a test run in the pool here shortly. And then ROKA also sent me out a really cool wet bag, right? And they sent me out some training wetsuit shorts, all right? So it's not a full wetsuit, it's just the shorts part. And I've been using these for my swims ever since I got them. And it's like, the difference is night and day, guys. I'm not even just saying that. Like, I got these for free. There's really no incentive for me to say this to you guys. I'm telling you, if you're trying to take your swimming seriously, getting a pair of wetsuit shorts to train with is an ideal thing to do. You definitely want to do that. Not to mention a full wetsuit when it comes down to actual game day. I know this is going to be a game changer on the day of the Ironman. And then of course they sent me some goggles. These goggles are really good. However, I would say for my eye sockets, they kind of give me a little bit of discomfort, so I haven't really been using them too much. In fact, I've actually been going through a ton of pairs of goggles just to see if I can find a good pair of goggles that's best for me. And you guys, please give me some advice if you know anything about swim goggles. So these were my first pair that I've been trying out. They're just regular Speedo goggles, the Speedo Vanquisher 2.0s. And these are pretty good. They're inside the eye socket goggles, right? So they sit inside the eye sockets. So they're not super uncomfortable, but just the fact, for me anyway, that they're in my eyes like that, after a while, it starts to get uncomfortable. And when you're in the water for at least 45 minutes to 50 minutes, and then for training, it's at least an hour, you know, that starts to wear on you and it gets kind of annoying. So the biggest things that are gonna be important as far as goggles go is, one, that they don't leak. The last thing you wanna do is have your goggles be leaking, because you know, if you're in the pool, you can fix it real quick, but when you're out there in a lake or the ocean, you're not gonna be able to fix your goggles as easily if they start leaking on you. So you wanna find a good pair that's not leaking, and you wanna minimize discomfort. If they're just giving you like, you know, eye socket headaches, then you need to find a better pair of goggles, or at least that's what I'm learning, right? So I've tried a couple other pairs. I've really been going on Amazon because you can return things very easy there. A couple other pairs I've tried, I've already returned them. And then here's a couple more that I've had come in the mail. This one is Speedo again. It is called the Biofuse 2.0. So this one's supposed to have 3D molding that fits just around your eye sockets and it's supposed to be super comfortable. So hoping to give these a try, and hopefully they're more comfortable and that they don't leak. And then I also tried a newer brand that I'm unaware of. You know, it could be like an off brand or something, but Zionor. Maybe I'm not saying that right, but I'm trying a pair from them. They are called the G1s. Okay, so they're supposed to be known for their comfort as well and that they don't leak. So we'll give those a try during our next swim, and hopefully they're better than what I've been dealing with so far. Not that anything's been horrible, but you know, I just feel like I could do better. And again, if you guys have any advice for me on what I need to do to get super comfortable goggles that will not leak on me, please let me know, because you know, as you can see, I am doing my very best to figure it out, but it's starting to get a little annoying. So I will take any tips I can possibly get. I almost forgot, they also sent me out a swim cap, and actually I was using a Speedo swim cap, right? But this one's actually way better. This one, it molds onto my head a lot faster, and it just feels a lot more comfortable, the one from ROKA. So if you're looking for a good head cap, I'd say the one from ROKA is a pretty good option. Not like there's too many differences between all the head caps out there, but this one seems to work really well for me. And for Ironman, you have to have a swim cap. That is a requirement. So I'm getting used to wearing this every swim. I'll give you guys a little insight onto the things that I've been using for sustainment. I keep talking about goo gels and stuff like that. So when I say goo gels, I literally mean the goo gels, like these, the GU gels. Some of them I have caffeine and some of them don't. So I'll try to mix that up as best I can when I bring them with me for my long rides or long runs. I also have these Stinger energy gels. Okay, so these have caffeine as well. Not too much caffeine, but they do have some caffeine. I'm trying not to overdo it with the caffeine. In fact, I'd say ever since I started this training for the half Ironman, I have limited my caffeine more than I normally do for training. So I've been doing good with the caffeine. Don't worry, I'm not over caffeinating myself, I don't think. I also sometimes will bring an occasional Cliff Bar for my rides. Not very often, but I do have them because I think those are good, like healthy snacks to bring, and they provide full-on sustainment. And then these other little tiny snack things that I was talking about are these Perfect bars that they're really small, okay? And the macros are pretty evenly distributed with proteins, fats, and carbs. So what I'll do, like today, I brought 2 of these, and then I had one like, you know, a third of the way through my ride, and then one 2/3 of the way through the ride. So it was close to that. And that just gives me something more than just quick carbs, or something a little bit more, offers a little bit more macro sustainment. And I know that I'm going to need that, okay, because more than just carbs, because not only do I have to get through a 56-mile bike ride, but after that, I'm going to have to do a half marathon run. So I need to have the right kind of sustainment that's going to see me through for that sort of distance. Not only that, but I'm going to have to had already swam 1.2 miles before I even start the bike ride, right? So I can't just live off goo gels. I'm going to have something a little bit more, something with a little bit more substance, right? So that's what I've been using. And as far as supplements go, you might be interested in that, but I haven't really been going crazy with the supplements. I have been taking every day AG1, okay? You guys have seen me talk about this before. I've been taking this every single day. I'm actually almost out of this tub, but I do have more of that I have that should get me through all the way until the event. I have a daily dose pack box, okay? So I'll have to open this up here pretty soon. And on that note, I've also been taking Canteen hydration and electrolytes almost every day. I take this. A lot of times I'll take it right before my ride or right before a run, mostly because it's just been so hot, okay? Not because I think I'm gonna need it on game day. It's just lately, it's during the summer, like I've just been sweating like crazy. It's really hard to keep up with the heat like that. So I've really been trying to maintain good electrolyte balance and just maintaining good hydration this whole time. This has been helping me do that. I also have these GU electrolyte capsules. Okay, sometimes I'll take these right before a bike ride or a run just to give me a little bit extra electrolytes, just to keep me on track there. You don't want to overdo it with the electrolytes. You know, you have to find your own balance, okay? But that's kind of what I'm working on. I'm trying to find my balance. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to underdo it. And then in the mornings, because I haven't really been taking like pre-workout like I normally do, well, at least not as much. I don't like take pre-workout before my runs or my bike rides anymore. Definitely not before a swim, right? So I'm really not taking it for anything endurance-wise. I'm not taking pre-workout. But sometimes in the morning, I'll take some BCAAs and energy from Recon 1, okay? And this provides me with 180 milligrams of caffeine, so not too crazy, but it's kind of like a little mini energy drink just to get me going for my day. And that's really about it for caffeine. I'll have like a cup or 2 of coffee throughout the day, and that's about it, man. I really haven't been going crazy with the caffeine, guys. It's weird for me, you know, because I've always liked a lot of caffeine, but lately, I just think it's going to do more harm for me than good with all this endurance training that I've been doing. However, when I do my strength training, okay, I still rely on Old Faithful, the Total War, okay? I still do take this if I'm going to get out there and hit the gym hard. I will still take this. So, but I'm not taking creatine. I'll tell you guys that much. I'm not taking anything that's going to put any extra weight on me or make me feel bloaty or anything like that. Everything I'm taking, I'm really trying to focus on my electrolyte balance, hydration, and just all around recovery. That's really what I'm focused on. And I know creatine is good for recovery, but I'm trying to stay as light as I possibly can. And for me personally, when I take creatine, it like stacks on an extra 5 pounds of water weight almost immediately when I start taking that. So I haven't been taking creatine. Yeah, guys, but that's about it. I would say as far as the second update for my Ironman train-up goes, I'd say the biggest takeaway is that I've been learning a lot on how to train and how often I should be training. I train just about every day some sort of endurance event. I swim around 2 times a week for about an hour each session, bike at least 4 times a week, run at least 4 times a week. Distances vary. I've been really starting to integrate a lot of brick workouts, which is, so far I've only done biking and then immediately running right after that. I really need to start biking right after my swims. That's something I need to start practicing. You can see I've acquired a lot more gear in the last month. I didn't realize that participating in a triathlon like this was going to require so much education on gear and so much acquiring of gear, but I'm definitely realizing that now, and I'm getting better at it, and I'm realizing what sort of gear that I'm going to need personally that's going to be best for me. And I think that's a major takeaway if you're somebody that's looking at training for a triathlon is the gear aspect, or you really have to look into that and figure out what's going to be best for you. I think the next video I'll talk a little bit more about what I've been eating, but just to give you guys a glimpse of that, I would say I'm taking in between 3,500 to 4,500 calories per day, depending on the workout of the day. And I'll backtrack just a little bit. I do strength training about 3 or 4 times a week still. So I'm still maintaining my strength training pretty well, just focusing a lot more on the endurance side of things. I have about a month and 2 weeks until the actual event to get myself squared away. I'm feeling super confident right now. I think the distances aren't going to be an issue. I definitely know I'm going to finish at this point. Now it's how well can I prepare myself to do the very best that I can possibly do when game day actually comes. And so that's really what I'm focusing on, and making sure that my body is prepared to take on those events in sequence as it's laid out during the actual triathlon event. And then last thing I'll leave you guys with is I'm not just ending this with the half Ironman in the middle of October, okay? This is actually a train up that's getting me ready for an entire Ironman, a full Ironman next spring. I'm actually lining up an Ironman event in April in Texas. I believe it's in April, and it will be in Texas more than likely. It looks like ROKA is talking about they're offering to sponsor me to go to that event, and I'm definitely going to take them up on that offer. Okay, it was either going to be that or the Lake Placid in New York, but Lake Placid wasn't until like next summer, I believe. So it's a little far out to be training, but next spring I think should be perfect, and that should be 3 months after the winter fan dance that I plan to do in January out there in Wales. So we still have a lot more endurance training to do. This is just the beginning. There's a lot more good things to come, that's for sure. But thank you guys for joining me with this journey. Hopefully this is beneficial information for you guys. Hopefully you're getting something out of this. If anything, just some motivation to do whatever it is that you're trying to do in your life. And if you're somebody like me who's pretty new to triathlon training, I'm hoping that my insights and the things that I'm learning myself are things that I can impart onto you so that you are just given that additional edge for your own train up. You know, that's really what this vlog is all about. I'm really trying to bring some sort of benefit to you guys with all this information that I'm giving to you. So hopefully there's something that you're taking away from this. If there is, please let me know, and I'll make sure to harp more on that in future videos. And also, please, if you have any other tips for me as far as training goes or supplementation or anything that can help me get better and more trained up for this event, I will absolutely take it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I do plan to do another update video in the next maybe 2 or 3 weeks, probably 2 weeks, I think. I think there'll be enough stuff going on in the next 2 weeks to update you guys with. Also, I almost forgot, all the gear and supplements and everything that I was talking about earlier, if you want to go check it out yourself, I will drop links to all of those things in the description so that you can go check it out yourself. Again, thank you guys for joining me on this journey. Besides that, I've got nothing else for you, and I will see you on the next one.